Good morning, Grovers! I am here today, and obviously I'm here today, that's a silly question. But I have a song that has been on my head this morning as I was driving into school. And it goes like this. Whoa, we praise you, and it goes over and over and over again. But that song is lodged in my brain right now. There's a specific part of it that I want to talk about today. And it's got me thinking about like a moment in our lives. It doesn't happen all that often, if I'm being completely honest. But like a moment when you get so excited that like your body doesn't do what you're expecting it to do anymore, and like you start shaking or jumping or screaming or anything of these, and you're out of your normal habitat. Like you don't normally do these things in life. We're good Midwestern folk. We don't show that much emotion normally. But the things that I can think of people doing this for is when they are winning a really difficult sporting event, or maybe in these moments when you like are really ultra vulnerable. Say you're asking somebody for a first date, and then they say yes, and you're like yes, and like you just get really excited. These are moments that they don't happen all that often in our life, but when they do, like it's like a quick burst of energy. You can't contain yourself. You go crazy, and then you kind of piddle off, and you're just still really excited, happy, fine, dandy. But like there was like that one split second where you just like went berserk. This song, it talks about that moment, and I've never really thought about that moment in depth in my mind before. But that exact moment is what I think worshiping and praise actually is. Like when we fully worship, when we fully praise God. People often talk about this idea of, I just can't wait to get to heaven, and we're just going to worship and praise God. And in my head, when I think about that, I'm like, endless, reckless love for all of eternity. I love Reckless Love, don't get me wrong. But if I were to listen to that song for all of eternity, I might go a little crazy. And the thought of being in heaven and praising God to reckless love for all of eternity might get the best of me. But I don't think that's at all what heaven is like. I don't think that's what praising God is like for all of eternity. I think it's actually more like that split moment when you have that excitement and you can't contain yourself, except it's extended. Like it's not just that exact second. Try imagining like living in that excitement, in that joy, like you can't contain yourself, but forever. I think that is what heaven is actually like. To worship and praise God with all that that excitement, that kind of joy. This song, there's a little chunk of it that you'll hear. It goes like this. This is what heaven looks like. This is what heaven feels like. This is what heaven sounds like. And you can hear the crowd in the background just getting excited, starting to cheer, starting to go crazy. Honestly, that's not what worship always looks like around here. We're good Midwestern folk. We like to be a little bit more reserved, a little bit more safe. But what would it look like if our worship and our praise actually looked like that? And can you imagine what it would look like if it was that big for all of eternity in heaven? But the question that is sitting out there still, why in the world would we even worship and praise that big, that crazy? It doesn't actually, like, sure, I could just will myself to be that excited all the time. Wrong, we can't. But if you think about how messed up we are, when you think about all the things that God will overcome so that we can be in heaven with him, like that is a moment worthy of celebrating and worthy of praising, and that is the reason that we will go crazy and jump and scream like we just won the Super Bowl. So folks, I want to share this song with you. It's called We Praise You, and there's a link right below this video, and if you're watching on the Oak Grove website, it's linked also in the video right below. Enjoy the song.